So today's video is going to be pretty simple and interesting. Yeah, I hope you find this useful. So today we're going to talk about something very easy peasy, simple, interesting, and that has to do with 5 things you need to know as a commuter in Abuja. You guys are living in the FCT, okay? Moved in here like 3-4 years ago, right? I've been 4 years in this city. I know, right? Like 3-4 years ago, you guys. So but perfect. Okay, so 5 things you should know. I'm going to talk from my experience as well, basically from my experience and maybe from an experience of others as well. So you might want to have this lockdown in case you want to visit Nigeria, if you're not in Nigeria, or you're anywhere in Nigeria and you want to visit the FCT. Now, number one thing you need to know when you're visiting the FCT is that you need to ask questions, especially if you just moved in. You guys, you need to ask a lot of questions, especially as a commuter, because if you have to go to several places, you guys, when I was here the first time, I spent a lot of money on transportation because I didn't know my routes. So I would be using town drops, and that were pretty expensive, you guys. I could be charged like 2,500 for a distance of 500 naira for just doing the normal, car drops around. But that was a lot, and I spent so much money on transportation because I had to go for interviews, trying to get a job, just before I started serving. So number one thing you need to know is that you need to ask questions if you're going to be a commuter in the city, especially if you're new. Ask questions. Number two, this is something I like to do all the time. Don't board vehicles where the driver doesn't understand English and you cannot speak the generic Hausa language, because it is going to be a lot of problems. Some of them have issues that stem from several reasons. Okay, so if you're going to talk to somebody and then you have to decide on a fare, if you guys have not made an agreement or an arrangement, even most times when you do, they always end up changing the agreement based on what they feel. They just maybe think that the distance is longer than what they expected, so they want to charge you more. Now, if you cannot communicate in Hausa, which is more like the language that majority of the people here speak, it's going to be a lot of time wasted and energy, because it always gets ugly. Okay, what I do is, if I'm trying to board a tricycle, I'm trying to board a motorcycle, or the usual green cabs, if I speak or communicate to you in English or Pidgin and you cannot communicate back the same way, you're just going to have to drive off, because I can't board your vehicle, because I do not have the strength to argue with you halfway into the journey or when we've gotten to my destination about the fare I'm supposed to give you. Okay, it's that simple. So try not to get into those altercations with these people. So if you don't understand Hausa, you cannot speak Hausa properly, and you don't want to get into this hassle, you might just want to board another vehicle apart from the ones that's actually driven by these people, this specific set of people, because it gets ugly, you guys. If you're not careful, it gets really ugly. Yeah, so that's it. All right, let's go to the next thing. Number 3 thing you need to know as a commuter that I've also experienced is that lately Abuja is becoming very congested. A lot of people are moving from their small cities or the big cities into the FCT, and it is crazy. So the traffic is not even funny, especially where I stay on both ends, or what would be like the 2 routes or 3 routes you might want to take. The traffic is crazy, so you might want to leave your house like an hour before, especially on work days, work hours, in the morning, or maybe you're coming back, in the evenings from 4:30 p.m. or from 5 p.m. and then if you're leaving from say 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. there is gridlock in major parts of the city, so you might want to leave your house like an hour 30 minutes before time if you need to beat the traffic, no matter how bad it is. Even if you're using Uber, Bolt, whichever one, or Pay, whatever you're using, or car, you might get into the gridlock if you're not careful, especially except you're in the main part of town, talking about Maitama and the rest of them. If you're around that area and your office or whatever you're doing business around that area, you may not have so much. But if you're coming from say Apollo, Kogoma, all of this axis, you guys, the traffic is crazy. Maraba, the traffic is crazy. Kubwa, guys, that's express, but trust me, the traffic there is crazy. So you might want to leave your house an hour or 2, or maybe an hour 30 minutes before time, okay, if you want to get to where you're going to very early and pretty quick. All right, so That's it. Number 4 thing you might want to take note of as a commuter, especially if you're not using Bolt or Taxify, is to always have a hand perfume or pocket perfume. Guys, you don't want to be going for an interview where you cannot afford to order a Bolt, okay, or ride from Uber, and then you're using a public transportation system where somebody beside you is smelling somehow, or there's this lady coming back from the market and she has fish in the car and all of those things. You would want to freshen up when you've gotten to your destination. So a pocket size perfume is very important. Small bottle, or maybe the one you can spray, just so you feel fresh and smell nice before you get into that meeting or you get into your office. I have a pocket size perfume. I just turned my body mist into a perfume bottle, a smaller body mist bottle, because you guys, I have to smell nice, okay? And then when people are sweating so much and then they're rubbing their hands all over your body in the course of, the whole transportation to wherever you're going to, it becomes pretty difficult, you guys. So you might want to smell nice. So that spray here and there, just an aura of confidence, so you don't smell like you've been stuffed in a box the whole time, right? Yeah, that's it. So let's move to number 5. All right, so number 5 thing you might want to do is ensure that you always go out with your handkerchief, okay, face towel or something. A friend of mine once advised that if you are going out with your handkerchief, you should be 2, okay, one in your bag because that one is pretty clean, there's nothing on it, no makeup, no dents, no stains, and the other one because you want to dab your makeup and face, so in case you're in front of people and you have to bring out your handkerchief, it's the clean one you bring out, and then you have this other one that is in your bag that you just use to dab your makeup and face, and that one looks messy and all, but that's by the way. I think that's one of the tips that should also be taken into consideration. Number 6 thing is, guys, you have to be really careful. Lately the city hasn't been so safe, the stories of one chance kidnappers and the rest of them, so you might be very careful. If you were somebody who always works late into the night, I work late into the night, 10-11 p.m. I'm still outside, especially during weekends. So guys, what I do lately, if I'm ordering for a ride, when the driver comes in, I literally assess the vehicle. Aside checking the plates number, I have the drivers open their boots for some strange reasons. The one I took yesterday was like, why are you checking or searching my car? And I'm like, it's for my own convenience and it's my security. So I have the drivers open the boots and I literally kind of do my own assessment, okay? And then always try to share your ride, your ETA, with a friend or a family member, something, okay? If you're able to, please share your ride, especially if you're at odd hours or you're having a strange feeling about the driver, but you have no choice but to board the vehicle. Please always share your ETA with a friend so they're able to help you track your ride as well. And then sometimes you have to make the driver know that somebody's tracking your ride, either through phone calls, or even if it's a fake phone call, you make the driver know that somebody's tracking your ride, okay? It kind of just breeds a sense of security around you, because you don't want to get unfortunate, and God would not help us or would not allow us to be unfortunate. All right, so security is key and very important. So I think we've addressed 6 points that is very simple. And also, guys, like I said earlier, ask questions. Really ask questions before coming, and even when you're in town, okay? If it depends on where you want to stay, you might want to ask questions based on the prices of the rental properties, prices of rental properties around town, depending on where you want to live or where you want to work or whatever business brought you into town, okay? That's a very important things that you need to note. And yep, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you found it helpful in the comment section, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the bell beside, click on all, so when I come up with new videos, you'll be the first person to know about it. It's Amazon, and see you in the next one. Bye.